Why is homeowners insurance harder to get now here in California? And have you ever heard the term Zone Zero? I didn't know what that term meant until last week. I am talking about both of those topics today in my video. Hi, I'm Lori Kutka with LPT Realty right here in the Temecula Valley, a 20-year veteran selling real estate here in the Temecula Valley. Alongside my husband, Matt, we run the Kutka team. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have tuned in to any of my other videos, we talk all things Temecula, buying and selling real estate. So why am I talking insurance today? Why am I talking about Zone Zero? Because both of these issues affect homeowners that currently live here in the Valley, that currently live in California, or are thinking about moving to California. These are very important topics that affect us now and going forward in the future. One of the things that I always pride about living here in Temecula is for Southern California homeowners, you can move here and you can get space. You can get a bigger lot than what you can for the money in San Diego, LA County, Orange County. Temecula is a very open space. You can get acreage, but the downside of that right now is California insurance companies have been pulling out of California like crazy. Now, I am not an insurance agent, but I have to deal with this on a day-to-day basis. If you are looking at a home on acreage, if you are looking for a home with space, with a view, and you love the fact that your home is going to overlook an open field and area, well, you have to know standard insurance companies are no longer going to be an option for you. Most of the policies that your insurance agent is going to be able to get for you are going to be a policy through the California Fair Plan. If you've lived under a rock in California, you may not have heard of the California Fair Plan. Most of us have heard of that, especially after all of the news on the fires that just happened last year in Pacific Palisades and LA. But just to break it down so you know, the California Fair Plan is made up of all the major admitted insurance companies that put a pool of dollars into this California Fair Plan. They all needed to contribute to this fair plan so California can have a backup of insurance. I went to a seminar last week, and a couple of things that I learned about were the term admitted and non-admitted insurance carriers. When it comes to an admitted carrier, this is companies that we all know of, very large insurance companies like State Farm, Allstate, Farmers Insurance. These are admitted companies that have backing here in California. Well, these are the companies that are pulling out of new policies due to the high fire risk here in California. So then we are now seeing an increase in non-admitted insurance carriers. These are carriers that are going to insure on higher risk properties. So what does that mean for homeowners? It means that you are going to expect higher premium plans. Your insurance that you know of today, if you are moving to a new house, you need to expect is going to be more. Outside of the fact that you may not be moving to what is acreage or an open space, but you can most likely guarantee that regardless if you stay in town or not, your insurance is going to go up because these insurance companies are charging more if they insure you. And if they don't insure you, then you are looking at non-admitted companies, or the California Fair Plan. And if your expectations are that you're going to pay more and your budget's going to allow it, then that is going to cover all your bases. But if you do have a budget that you want to stay within, you need to consider insurance is going to be a higher chunk of that monthly budget when you purchase or move, because insurance carriers, the premiums have gone up. Now, in talking about the California Fair Plan, if you are looking at a property that your insurance carrier can only insure you with the California Fair Plan backing, you need to know that that only covers your property for fire insurance. You also will need a secondary carrier when it comes to water intrusion, theft, when it comes to just liability to your property. Most people don't know that the Fair Plan is not like your standard State Farm Allstate plan. It is a two-part plan. California Fair Plan only covers you for fire. Now again, I am not an insurance carrier, so if you have more questions on the California Fair Plan, call your insurance agent. I'm here today to just bring to light, if you are considering making a move, if you are considering homeownership here in California, if you are a current homeowner, there are things that you need to be aware of that's happening all around you, or what to expect when you move here. And when it comes to fire, this is what I was not aware of until last week. There are zones all around your home. It's called Defensible Space. The zones are related to the ember-resistant zones around your property. When it comes to the defensible space, there are different requirements that are for fire regulation. Our governor, Gavin Newsom, made a regulation to adopt the rules for Zone 0 by the end of 2025. So that is this year, people. They are working behind the scenes to put together all of the requirements that California homeowners are going to have to abide by when it comes to Zone 0. Now, what is Zone 0? Zone 0 is 0 to 5 feet all around your property. Zone 2 is beyond that, and then you get into Zone 3. So what are Zone 0 requirements going to be? It is going to be, you will not have a combustible product within 0 to 5 feet. What's a combustible product? Wood mulch, a wood fence attached to your home, pine straw near your home, wood decking attached to your home, wood patio covers attached to your home. Yes, all these things are considered a combustible fire hazard and increase your chances of your property catching on fire and spreading to your home. Now, anybody building a new home is going to have to abide by these requirements. But what about us? We've lived in our home 22 years. We have a wood fence that is attached to the stucco of our home. I just put down all new, beautiful wood bark all in my flower beds. What am I gonna do? Well, I'm going to have to adjust. What I'm hearing is that when this Zone 0 gets enforced, current homeowners are going to have up to 3 years to comply with these regulations. Now, my guess is that if you are getting a permit for something in your home, then those permits are going to encompass that you do some of this, if not all, of these Zone 0 requirements in order to get your permit. Now, there is going to be solutions. I don't want to panic everybody, but just know these Zone 0 requirements are coming. And we are going to have to adjust. We all love living here in California. Well, maybe not every day. And maybe we've all considered, do we really want to stay here in California? But I know I love it here. I don't ever see moving, so I'm going to have to adjust to these requirements. But this video today, I just wanted to bring to light the California FAIR Plan. Be prepared that your insurance policy is most likely going to go up when you move. If you are buying here in California, you need to be aware insurance is an issue that you need to be mindful of and to tackle what your expenses are going to be up front so you can get your budget in line accordingly. And also Zone 0, people, we're not going to be able to avoid it. If our government and our state guidelines are going to require it, we will have to comply eventually. Now, when it comes to buying or selling real estate, that's the fun part. But all of this other goes with it. So I hope I've been helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I put out a video every week about all things buying and selling real estate, living here in California, and all things Temecula. If you want to follow along on our weekly email, we give you a list of all the fun stuff happening here in Temecula. It's a great place to live. We love it. We've raised our kids here, and we want you to consider Temecula as your place to live here in Southern California. Thanks for watching.